Oh,
Sick. Let's dive straight in. Welcome to March 1st
yes, sir.
weekly update. We're gonna cover probably 2 weeks today. We're gonna have a recap of Cyprus. As you guys see, we're back in office. Excited to get this done. Let's go.
Let's fucking go, bro. Yeah, we didn't record one video last week. We didn't do it on Sunday, and then we said we'd do it later, but we just kept pushing it until running out of time. So that's our fault. Now there's gonna be a double video. Let's go, man. What's the first update you got for us?
First update. Let's bring up the document. First one that we did mention this in the video that we recorded in Cyprus. I want to talk some more about it, go a little bit more in depth. It's definitely sharing leads. That was one thing that we should have done earlier, I feel like, but now we will share leads. It's a complete change in the business, but it's the best change we can make because the profits are just, it is literally insane. We made some calculations and we can literally go from like 42% profits to like 76. And on top of that, we can afford to pay more per lead, which means that the lead quality will be higher. So the partners will be happier, depending on how many people we share them to. But right now, we're only going to share them to maximum 3 people. And I'm actually really happy that we did this. So looking back at this video, when I look back at this, when you look back at this, Edvin, this is the week where we started sharing leads, and I think we've fully transitioned from this SMMA world, agency world. We're now a matching platform. So that is one big update for the week, and yeah, that's pretty. That's the biggest one, 100%. What about you, Edvin?
I agree. Yeah, that's a huge one. And since we started doing that, our profit margin on pay per lead itself, which is usually very low, and from 18 or say I think 6% the 2 weeks before to 41%. So it like what's that? Almost 8x or something crazy. That's probably the biggest win. On top of that, if I can add a few other updates that happened over the last week or so, obviously we were in Cyprus. Lost the name of it. We had a lot of fun. And last time we recorded a video, we were kind of shitting on ourselves for how we got no work done. I feel like the second week that we were in Cyprus, we did start getting some work done. Even though it wasn't perfect and wasn't as much as we would have at home, we started actually getting to a flow. We started getting some work done, plus having a lot of fun. So I'm really happy with that trip. I feel like we learned a lot. We had really fun. And I realized one thing, which is super important in business, which is it truly doesn't matter how much you work, it only matters what you get done. And on that trip, I think we made more money than we would have done if we stayed home, just because of a few big decisions we took, such as sharing leads, which I came up with that idea while we were at a tech store. It was so funny. I would never have had that idea if I was home working at that time. So that was definitely a very fun trip. I also, on my way home from that trip, I just reflected a lot, and I feel like we got more social from that trip, and it kind of started this year in a really good way where we're still in Q1 of the year, but I feel like it's set a good agenda for how great this year is going to be. I met somebody on the plane home, and we just spoke for the entire plane trip. She was also going to Sweden, and we had, I didn't tell you about this, Jim, but I
Why am I
ended up
learning
just
about this now?
yeah, I ended up just reflecting over the whole trip. We spoke for like 4 hours about life and everything, and I just realized how freaking grateful I am for life, how well things are going now, how profitable we are with the business. I ended it last month at over 100K in cash collected, so really happy with that. Just overall, I feel like things were really good, and it's easy to forget and just look at the negative. But I feel happy about this year so far, even though it can be way better. We've kind of not been pushing the business as hard as we could. I've had a lot of good times. Just wanted to reflect on that. What other updates do you have from the last few weeks?
Yeah, I got some more updates. Let me take a look here. Yeah, the first one was the sharing leads. The second one is actually the kind of on the same same thing you mentioned. I have written down no trench work. I feel like we've been actually focusing more on the work that we should, even though we didn't work as intensively in Cyprus. We did make changes in the business that have huge impacts, and that's just something I've been really bad at in the past of being in there doing the trench work instead of the work that is actually required. And honestly, if you got two people, one of them is working 10 hours a day and the other one's working 1 hour, but the person that, and I'm so tired right now. Okay, the person doing 10 hours of work, if he's only doing like the trench work, checking Slacks, responding to emails, fixing broken automation, sending through test leads, doing all of this stuff, but the other person on the 1 hour, he's only doing and fixing the constraint, the 1 hour guy will win, even though the other person is doing 10x the input, so to say. So that's a big thing for me is I want to really step out of all trench work, and just every single time I do something, I just want to have that mental like, okay, should I be doing this? Because sometimes you get caught up sending through test leads when you should fix the automation, or trying to send through test leads after the automation has been broken. But in reality, you should focus on the actual core problem, which is fixing the actual automation or building the new automation or whatever that is. So that's been a big thing for me. Yeah, that's also another update. I must say one more thing here on this point. On the plane back home and on the train back home from Cyprus, I listened to probably collectively 7 to 9 hours of Elon Musk. I listened to every single podcast on the Founders Pod with Elon Musk and YouTube videos. I also watched again the Walter Isaacson. That's his name, right? Walter. Yeah,
Yeah.
Walter Isaacson. The pod with him, talking about Elon and Jeff Bezos and yeah, these people, and Steve Jobs. Yeah, and that was also really good. So, been taking a lot of inspiration from how he acts, and gonna implement that now when we're back to work as well. That's pretty much it. Edvin, what else do you have?
I love that. Yeah. One big update is that I got a huge fucking monitor. Should I show them the monitor?
Let's go.
Insane. Um, check out my monitor, guys. This monitor is fucking insane. This is my hand. I don't think I can even compare how fucking big this monitor is compared to my hand. It's fucking huge. It's roughly the size of 3 normal monitors. And why do you need that, you might ask? You don't. You don't at all. But it's really nice to have. So that's a good win. I've been wanting this for like 6 months, but haven't wanted to buy it until now. But I feel like it was a huge, good investment. It's only like 1K, but these investments that you make in your setup, in your health, and those kind of things are so high leverage. I have never regretted investing in my health or in my productivity or coaching too. Another few updates. I crushed my sales calls and felt like I, for the first time in a long while, actually focused on sales with 100% of my effort. Like this week, I'm really happy with how much I call leads, with how much I focus on sales, and it's very unnatural for me to do those kind of things because I've had closers for like a year and a half, and going back in the trenches to like call leads and stuff feels so weird. But because of the fact that I'm calling companies that are doing $50 million a year, I know that's what I need to do, and I'm very happy with that. I closed a really good 5K PIF from Paper Lead. I feels weird saying PIF, but I closed a 5K prepayment of 50 leads. I had another huge company that signed a contract and so on. So I feel really, really good. And probably most importantly of all, the profit margin, as we spoke about before, was really high, even when we scaled and even when we increased the quality of leads. So I'm really happy with that.
It's great. That's great.
Yeah, man.
Sick.
For sure. What's
Do we
your
have any
learnings
other
and top
updates?
of mind stuff?
Yeah, let's go into that. First one is same topic as I spoke about before. It's the Elon Musk, Elon Musk mindset. I've listened so much to all of the podcasts and every video I could find that I feel like I have installed a little bit of the mindset now of like going to the root cause and just focusing on that. So what he does, what Elon Musk do is he finds the problem and he takes his jet and he flies to the problem in the right place, meets with the person, sees the problem like with his own eyes, and then he fixes it on the spot and he doesn't leave until it's fixed, and then he'll go to the next problem. And so that, even though we're working remotely and we're working online, I feel like we can still install that kind of mindset. So that's been the biggest learning lesson. That's gonna probably serve me the most. But we already spoke a little bit about that. The second thing I want
For
to bring up,
anybody who
yeah,
For anybody who doesn't know about Elon Musk business principles, or for you watching this in a year, what do you feel like are those principles that are actually top of mind?
The first one is it is just relentless, like focusing on the constraint. That is the biggest thing. If I don't think back to what I've actually learned, that is the first thing that comes to mind. It is just he basically asks himself, will this bring us closer to going to Mars, or will this bring us closer to getting 1 million people on Mars? If the answer is no, he's not doing it. And that, for me, if I look at a task and I feel like, okay, will this bring me to $5 million EBITDA? And yeah, if the answer is no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. Either I'm delegating it or I'm just eliminating it. I'm not doing it because it's very easy as a founder to have a to-do list of 300 things, and the brain takes the one that is the easiest to do or doesn't require as much, like, yeah, you want to focus on the easiest things on the to-do list just naturally. So you just got to ask yourself, is this the work that is required for me to get there? If the answer is no, then just eliminate it. Don't do it. Do it later if it's still a priority. That's, I think that's the biggest thing. What about you? I know we listened also in Cyprus. We had it on the car ride. What do you feel like is the biggest thing that you've implemented from him?
I've been obsessing over Elon for like a year and a half now, so I could rant on with him for hours. But probably biggest ones is like first principles thinking. He doesn't take an
Yeah.
answer for what it is. He always asks himself, "What's the source of this? Who made up that rule? Can I speak to that person directly? Can I question them?" And he questions smart people especially, because smart people never get questioned. So he's like, those are the people who make the most dumb assumptions. And then he always thinks in first principles of, does something work based on the laws of nature and not based on his beliefs. So like a lot of people are like, oh no, I couldn't make $1 million tomorrow, right? But he says to himself, wait, could I make $1 million? Is it physically possible based on the laws of nature? If it is, then he asks himself how and what would it take. That's probably the first one. Second one is extreme urgency. Like this guy moves faster than anybody else on earth, and that's how he can
That's also a
run
big one.
$7 billion companies. Yeah, and he's the richest man by 4 times to the next one. The second richest man is the co-founder of Google, that is worth 200 billion, while he's worth 850 billion. So it's a fourth time. Right?
Yeah.
He's like, it's not even close, right? So that one is really interesting. Another one is he's obsessed with saving costs. He's always obsessing over how can I make this cheaper? How can I spend less money? How can we not do unnecessary things? Another one is he has a 5 step way of engineering stuff that he calls the algorithm. And I'm probably gonna butcher this, but simply put, it's basically first you question all requirements, what we already spoke about. You make sure that you uncover all the dumb stuff. Then you remove everything you possibly can. Then you see what breaks. You
Simplify.
add what
Yeah.
needs to be you add what needs to be added again, and you should accept that 20% of the things you removed should be added. Otherwise, you haven't removed enough. Then you scale it up, and then if you can, you automate it. But you don't want to over automate, because oftentimes over automating things make you just lose efficiency rather than get efficiency.
Isn't eliminate one of them as well? Like he talks
Yeah,
about, can this be
eliminate
eliminated? Is
everything you
the
can.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that one
then
is, yeah, I feel like you almost have a piece. Are you looking at a document right now with your
no,
notes
I'm
from
just
the
yapping.
That's
I'm just
good because
yapping.
everything that you're saying, when you say it, I remember everything from the podcast and all of it. So yeah, you've definitely learned from it. That's good.
Another one that's really interesting is he. This is probably the biggest one. His theme. He always says hardcore. He's the most hardcore person on earth. He literally works 18 hours a day, 20 hours a day. No kidding. Like most people think that's not possible, but this guy literally sleeps like 2 to 5 hours a day, and he just works all day. He's on his jet. He's making calls. He makes stuff happen right away, and he's not afraid to fire people. Another one is like he doesn't care about people's emotions. He only cares about the mission. So he'll mess up friendships, mess up relationships. He'll fire somebody who's been loyal to him for 20 years, and so on. And he'll do whatever it takes to get to his mission. And he doesn't care about anything else. That's probably also why he's been divorced 6 times and has 9 kids, where half of them don't have a relationship with him. Because you can't do everything in life, and to build that success, it's very, very hard to also prioritize relationships. So that's
Yeah.
probably the main things I can think of.
Big ones, yeah. The one you talked about, breaking things down, like is this possible within the laws of physics? Basically, a good example of that is he went to Russia to buy a rocket, and the price was like 80 million. And then on the plane back, he made a spreadsheet with everything that was in that rocket, and he came to the conclusion that if you just buy all of the material and make the rocket yourself, it will be way cheaper. And that's just something that normal people, they wouldn't look at something and be like, oh, they would have just given up there, or like, okay, we have to find another way. But he basically broke it down to what does the material cost, and then he just started building it himself, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool. But nice. That's my learning slash top of mind. What about you? What do you have?
I have a few. One really simple one, but just a healthy reminder for myself. Alcohol is just a net negative for me. And same with shisha, and same with vaping, same with all of those dumb stimulants that you do just for fun. I've never taken
Except
drugs,
coffee.
but I've never taken, I've never taken like weed or anything like that. But I guess that's the same thing, and I'm never gonna try it. But just a reminder of, on the trip that me and Jim took to Cyprus, transparently, we did a bit of shisha, which is like water smoking, basically, if you don't know about it. We also drank some alcohol, and not a bunch. And I don't think you drank any alcohol, which is good. So not a bunch, but just even if it's small, I just realized that there's so little benefit by those things, and sometimes you just forget that and need to remind yourself that it's better to just not do it all, right? Because the benefit is like feeling good for 5 minutes, not even feeling that great, but just feeling good. And then the downside is like you mess up the whole next
Next
day,
day.
you mess up your
Next
cardio.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's just not worth it. Plus, it costs money. And another one that was huge is that I know this one, but I always end up messing up on this one, which is I work better when I am extreme in my actions when it comes to eliminating stimuli. So like I work the best when I don't have Snapchat, I don't have YouTube, I don't have TikTok, I don't have Instagram. I don't have anything on my phone or my computer that can stimulate me because I'm very extreme, and I realize that when I have one
Yeah.
thing, even if it's fucking, I don't care what, like Reddit or ChatGPT on my phone, I'm just gonna end up talking to ChatGPT for 4 hours a day, because
Oh,
my
we've talked about
brain,
this so much. Yeah.
yeah, my brain just obsesses over whatever it can find. So I realize I work the best when I just say, no, I'm not gonna work on anything else but the work. And even if I try, my phone isn't in my room. I remove, like, it's stupid. I have a nail clipper here. When I do deep work, I can't use this because otherwise I'm gonna end up just cutting a paper or whatever the fuck it is. And I realize that about myself, and it sounds silly, but that's how I work. And rather than trying to fight that, now I just embrace it.
Yeah. We've talked about that so many times.
Yeah.
I also have this thing where if I start doing something, I cannot stop. It's either I don't do it or I just we do it so much. Like when we were in the office in at your office a while back, we asked ourselves like, hey, do we want to play one this sounds so silly, but we were like, do we want to play one Clash Royale match against each other? And we could not stop. It was like
For
either
anybody,
we
by the
have to
way,
delete the
who
app.
doesn't know Clash
Yeah.
Royale, it's the most fucking fun game ever. It's the one and only game that me and Jim actually have played after starting our businesses. It's so fucking silly, but it's the most fun game
Yeah.
in the world. Everybody in Sweden plays it. But keep
Yeah,
telling your
it's like
story, yeah.
chess, but no, I was just saying that some I feel like it's also a good trait because this is how we can stay so obsessed with working and so obsessed with business. I feel like I also have this thing where if I do something, no matter if it's like an activity, if I start a good example when I was younger, I used to like to skateboard. And if I did it one time, I had to do it every day. Like I couldn't stop. Another one was like when I was younger, I used to break dance. When I started breakdancing, I could not stop. I had to go every day. And if I couldn't go, if my dad couldn't drive me or whatever, I would do it at home. I would try to do it. Like it just everything that I have. And this also same thing as you. If I have social media on my phone, my screen time will go up so much. I cannot stop using it. It's like you get so attached to it. Um, but yeah, that's a good
Shisha, huh?
learning. Yeah, shisha as well. When you do it once, you won't do it all the time. So you just either you don't do it or you, yeah. I feel like don't not doing it is better. But cool,
100%. Another one
nice.
that is big is this one. Everybody knows it, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Just the importance of sleep. I'm a big sleep junkie. Knows this, and he used to make fun of me for this. Like, I obsess over my sleep a lot. I don't drink caffeine too late. I go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. I wear blue light blockers. I'm so diligent with my sleep, but I feel like it's the number one thing. Your sleep is more important than the food you eat, how much water you drink, what you do with your day. Like, everything else put together is less important than just sleep, because
Yeah.
it's so obvious. Everybody knows that when you've slept 4 hours, you don't work well. When you've slept nine, you work incredibly. So just if you're not feeling very well, just always start by fixing your sleep, and then usually everything else puts itself back together. Because if you also sleep a lot, you don't have time to be stuck at social media. You don't have time to be up at night, drinking, partying, whatever. Because to sleep well, you need discipline, and that usually fixes everything else. So that one's big.
I like that. Where's my whoop band, Edwin?
I ordered gym a
Edwin
Whoop
was.
band, but it's taken so long because first I was gonna get it to gym, and then we went to Cyprus, and then Cyprus didn't have a fucking address. The
We
place
didn't
we stayed
have
at.
we didn't have an
Yeah,
address.
so we couldn't order anything, and now it's finally getting to gym. I think this week, so that's sick.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna start doing the same. I used to make fun of you because you wanted to have the best sleep ever, but you're actually right. I must say you you are 100% right. Sleep is really important. So you got me there. I'm gonna start using my Whoop, and I'm gonna start obsessing over my sleep as well.
Hell yeah. Another
Nice.
one is buying back your time. I kind of got a reminder of this when I was in Cyprus. In Cyprus, we fucked around a lot. We spent a lot of time on like stupid stuff, like going way too far to get food. We probably spent 3 hours in total shopping for all we needed was a desk, a monitor, a share. And we probably spent 4 to 3 hours in total shopping for those things, and then another 5 hours assembling everything. We should be more diligent with buying back our own time. So when I got home here, now I'm getting a taxi slash chauffeur who's gonna drive me to my office and back every day. I'm gonna get meal prepped done. As somebody has to cook them healthy food every single day. I have optimized routine so that I think genuinely, if anybody could see my routine, they would be blown away by how little time I spend fucking around compared to most people. Like, when I say fucking around, I don't mean wasting time. I mean like just doing stupid stuff like the dishwasher or cooking food or cleaning or getting somewhere, commuting. Those kind of things are so tedious. Especially I'm under 18 still, so I can't use a car, so everything becomes slower. So having a chauffeur is gonna help a lot. That one's big.
That one's really big. We have to start obsessing with that so much. Um, yeah, that's also a big one from Elon. Just
Yeah.
yeah, buying back the time.
Buy a $200 million private jet is what he does. I'm gonna do that in a few years too, but not yet. I have a few
When we
other
get to the
ones,
US.
really quick that I go over. Creating conditions for success is really important. Like, if you're in a place where you can't really focus, you can either try really hard to just get disciplined and focus, or you can just change your environment. Like, we realized when we were in Cyprus that no matter how hard we try, we're not gonna work as many hours as we do here at home. And even though we could have fought that and forced ourselves, I think it was the right thing that we now went back home to lock in for a month before we go to Colombia. So we're going to Colombia in a month, gonna have some fun there, but then go
I'm
back
not
to
sold
lock in.
yet, but we'll see.
Jimmy's going. But that one's big. And also, like, if you're finding that you're not able to work, oftentimes try doing what I talked about me doing, which is like I cut out everything. My room is just literally my computer, my monitor, and nothing else. If you want to get to the gym, make sure that you have your workspace near to your gym. Make sure you prep your clothes the day before. It's more about systems than discipline, in my opinion. I can be so disciplined when I have the right systems, and I'm not disciplined at all when I don't have the right systems. Another one is doing the basic work. I feel like that's the number one reason that this week was so good for me. Like, we had the highest profit we've had in a while, the highest revenue. We sold a few clients. Everything is working, and I think the reason for that is because I just went back to doing all the basics. I'm now overseeing the media buyer and talking to her daily. I'm overseeing our ad creative stuff and having high standards on her. I'm overseeing the ops and making sure that that's taken care of. I'm not doing it, but I'm overseeing it. I actually am now back into sales, just consistently calling the leads. And I've found that the extraordinary results don't come from doing extraordinary work. I think it's more so the extraordinary results come from doing ordinary work for an incredible period of time. Like you just need to do all of the basics and not skip on any of them. It's not that you need a crazy idea, it's that you need to be really good at doing all the basics and not getting stuck in the trenches, not just fucking around, not stopping what's working, but just doing the basic stuff. And if you do the basic stuff well for a long period of time, you can build like $100 billion company. Sometimes you listen to people like the guy who built Walmart, Sam, I forgot his name, Sam something, and he basically talked about how Walmart had no crazy ideas coming up. Walmart had no crazy ideas that no other company had came up with. They were just so good at doing everything, treating their customers well, being efficient, keeping labor costs low, pricing appropriately, and that's why they became the biggest company in the world with 3 million employees. So that one's big. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree. It's definitely doing the work that you know you have to do. Kind of goes back to focusing on the constraint as well. You're not working if you're working on something that is not the constraint. And typically the constraint is just very simple. It is just how do you get more customers or how do you keep them? That's just that's kind of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like yeah, that was good. Nice. I have one more.
Go ahead. What are those?
The Yeah, I have slowing down or focusing. How am I gonna put this in the best way? I feel like being bored is the best way to put it. When you have a lot to do, for me, it's so easy to just become scattered and you do things like 50% and then you go to this thing and then you respond in Slack. I feel like just being bored and focusing on one thing and just when you have 10 things to do or 100 things to do, just pick the most important one and just focus on that and be bored and don't care about anything else and just get that one thing done. And that is something that's been, I just recently, like 2-3 days ago, started thinking like that again. I used to do that in the past, but I kind of stopped doing it and was all over the place, wanted to do this, and this. But yeah, one thing at a time, being bored, taking things slower, but just working on one thing. It's like who wins in the race? Is it the rabbit or what is it, like a turtle? Or what?
Turtle
The
or
slow,
the rabbit? Yeah, yeah.
yeah, turtle or the rabbit. It's like the turtle will win. He'll just work slower. So that's one thing. Move with speed, 100%. But when you
Yeah.
do something, it's that and that only, and then just put everything else to the side.
I'm glad you
That's
brought that
all my
one up.
learnings.
Do
Yeah,
you mind if I go deeper on that one? I would
sure.
say that this is probably the number one struggle I've had with entrepreneurship since I started. This is like one of those questions that there's no right answer to. There's a balance, which is speed, like the Elon Musk obsession of like move fast versus the don't fuck up your own work and let things play out. Like, let me give you an example of this. Elon Musk is the number one inspirer I have in my life when it comes to moving fast, solving the constraint, taking incredible action. And we spoke about that earlier on this call and the importance of just like what's stopping us from growing. Let's 10 times put 10 times as much focus on that thing and 10x down on that. Like if we just need to spend more money on ads to scale, 10x your ad spend, right? But then the counter argument to that is letting things take time and not fucking up your own plan. So sometimes you're doing the right things and you just need to give time. Like I've had so many times in my life where I'm growing and things are going well. Like January last year, I had hit 120K in revenue. We made 80K in profit. It's still one of the most profitable months I've ever had. This was January 2025. And so a year ago now, more than a year ago. And I was like, I was doing everything right. I needed to change nothing. We were so profitable. The team culture was so fucking good. And then I wanted it to go faster. So I partnered up with a guy. 3 months later, I was 150K in debt. And then it took a year to rebuild to the same revenue mark. Like literally a year, no kidding. So I just wish that I could tell myself, if there was one thing I could tell myself 1 year ago, it would be just let things work. And if you, for example, have a sales process that works, don't hire a setter. Just keep doing that sales process, right? If you have a profitable backend, don't add more questions to your landing page. Just keep doing what you're doing because it's generating you profit. And most founders got success because they wanted to move fast, but then they fuck up their own success because they don't let things work, and every time something works, they get a magic idea. They don't think about the idea; they just execute, and then they fuck up their own success. But as I said, there's a balance because when you go too far in that direction, you end up moving slow, and you remove the principles that Elon Musk talk about, like solve the constraint fast, move fast, execute, and so on. And those two are so hard to fucking balance. Elon Musk always makes me think I gotta move faster, but then my mentor Kale, he's like the one person in my life that always helps me whenever I am about to fuck up my own success. He's like, wait, slow down. Is this the problem? Right, let's not try to work on it then. And there's no right answer, and I'm happy. I'd love to get your input on that, Jim. But there's no one or two right answers on it. It's more of like find a balance and find when do you need to move faster and when do you just need to let things work. And I think the greatest entrepreneurs always have a mix of both. And most people are too far into one direction. And I feel like we, over the last 6 months, have been too far in the let's just change everything direction. What do you think
just
about that one?
impulsive, just
Yeah.
if you think of an idea, you don't wait, you just go.
Yeah.
And you fuck up. Yeah. I think Layla Hermosi was the one who said this. I don't know if it was you that told me this or if it was a newsletter or a video, but Layla Hermosi said this to Alex, I think, that you're on the way to solve the constraint. I can't remember. It was something about a
Don't
plane,
solve-
like an analogy.
Is it don't solve your constraint twice?
Yeah, maybe. I think we spoke about. I heard it in Cyprus. I don't know if it was from a pod or something, but from what I remember, I think it was this. She pictured the solving the constraint as like going on a plane to a destination, and so you find the constraint. That's when you lift off, and then you solve it, and then you land, and that's when the constraint is fixed. And so I think this is. I don't know if this is how it was, but she told Alex that you're trying to solve the constraint when you're already in the air, waiting to see if you're gonna solve the constraint. So it's like if you're doing a split test on your landing page, you have to get enough data before you make a decision. We're already solving the constraint. Like we're in the middle of solving the constraint. Don't try to resolve it because if you do, you're just gonna go back to where you were before to then go on the plane ride again. I can't remember what it was. It was something like that. But when you've solved or when you're solving your constraint, just let it play out. Let the solvement play out. And as you're saying, don't solve the constraint twice because then you're just making it a bigger problem.
Yeah. Usually it's not a idea problem, it's an execution problem. Like most people watching this probably have 99% of the knowledge it takes to build a $1 million a month company. You don't have 100%. Usually there are learning lessons you're gonna have to take up along the way, whether it's getting better at a certain skill or learning one key thing. But usually it's not. That's not the biggest thing holding you back. Usually you know like 99%, but the biggest thing is that you just get another idea, you execute on that, then halfway through executing on it, you get a new idea because you're like, yeah, I've been with this problem for a month and a half. But what you don't know is that it takes 3 months to solve that problem with the right idea. So you're like, it's been a month and a half, nothing has changed, let me change it again. And then 1.5 months in, you would have been done by now. But then you're like, this hasn't worked either, and then you change it again. And that's a loop that I was stuck in for almost a year. From the day that me and my business partner split and I was super far in depth, it was like 9 months of me just changing stuff all over again and then going back to what I had changed and so on, and then just being in that hamster loop. And then when I feel like I finally got out of it, that's when I switched to pay per lead when we started scaling. And that was also like I had to accept the fact that now I'm taking a step backwards and I'm gonna maybe regret this because I had such momentum and I did over 100K in just pay per appointment, and I realized that I might just be doing the right thing switching to pay per lead, but I still took the decision to because I thought that this was a higher leverage opportunity. I'm happy that I did now, and I think it was the right choice. But it also did cost me profit. It was the first month where we did less than 50K profit in a while, the month that I went all in on pay per lead. And now I'm finally back to where I was when I was max pay per appointment, which is like over 100K in revenue. But I went down for a bit. And usually that's how your business looks on the inside too, where you fix stuff, it's working, and then as soon as it starts working, you just fuck it all up again.
Yeah, no, I completely hear you on that one. I definitely hear you on that one.
Hell yeah.
Sick. Do we want to go into problems we're facing?
Yes. What's your biggest problem?
Let's go. Biggest problem right now is, first of all, having inaccurate numbers in my tracking
from what I'm realizing, and then B2C profitability. We are solving the B2C profitability, but we have actually been slacking on our side on doing the media buying, on actually every single day turning off all ads that are not within the KPIs that we want, uploading new ads, and then making sure that we have the accurate numbers so we see which ads we're turning off. That has been a problem for us, and I realized that our pixel has been firing like 2 or 3 times from every lead, so you can imagine our data is completely wrong. So we're probably turning off ads and turning on ads and running ads that we shouldn't run. And so B2C profitability is that's the biggest thing for us. If we tripled our profit, we could scale our ad spend so much, and we would have our next problem, which is going to be having at least 3 partners in all big areas. Because if we do that, then every single lead that we generate will be shared to 3 people, and our profit margin will explode from there. That's pretty much it. That's the problem. I feel like B2C profitability, signing more partners so we can share the leads to multiple people, and then we're golden.
I agree. Yeah, on my side, B2C stuff is working really well for me. So right now, for me, it's mainly just double the ad spend that we're spending on pay per lead. I want to get to $1,000 a day in PPL spend, which is going to be based on the current profit. That would be profiting like, what's that? I suck at math, bro.
25?
Yeah, profiting. Like right now we have a 40% profit margin. So if we spend 1,000 a day, we'd be profiting a lot of money. I can't think of how much right now, but a lot of money.
That's not a lot. Change your mindset there.
Yeah, okay, not enough, but a lot more than we are right now. So we gotta double our ad spend on the PPL side. And then, because it's working right now, we're highly profitable on it. And then, secondly, I just need to continue selling all day. Like, the sales stuff is really working, so we just need to continue selling and not change that part. That's pretty much the only problem for me.
Yeah. Nice. Pretty simple. We're going to fix it.
Yeah. Do you have any
Nice.
questions for me that you want to ask? I have a question for you.
You should. Shoot your question, and then I'll shoot.
Do you have one?
I actually do have one. Yeah, I have one.
Sure. Okay, my question to you is funny. What do you think your biggest weakness is?
That is so funny. You know what my question is?
What?
It's, well, kind of. Yeah, same thing. What's the biggest thing stopping you from growing? And then it says mental. So, like, pretty much the exact same thing as you asked.
That is so funny.
What is the biggest thing?
What do you think the biggest thing is on you?
I think sometimes I'm way too stubborn. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, I know that I need to do something, but it's just a part of me, and I just refuse to, like, I refuse to kind of accept that I've been wrong.
Yeah. I think that's a good
And-
answer.
Yeah, and like relating to work, it's like when I had social media on my phone, and you told me like, remove social media, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do it, but I just refuse to know that I've been doing something that's wrong, and it's like, yeah, that's done now though. I do not associate with that anymore. But do you kind of understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think I'm too stubborn to change things that I know I need to change just because I don't want to be wrong.
I agree. Yeah. I think that's a good answer.
Do you think that's
Now-
my biggest weakness?
Yeah, I think so. I think both personally and business wise, like not wanting to accept that you're wrong. Yeah. Like this was a big thing. Obviously we were in
Hate
Cyprus.
being wrong.
Yeah. And I said this to Jim every day. I was like, we'd argue over something, they would search it up, and then no matter what the answer was,
Even
and
if I'm wrong, I'm right.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, this is just something that's contained. It's something I think we can all get better at. But like the idea of like, yeah, I was wrong about this. That is something that I think you definitely can get better at personally, and I think that is something that really spits over on the business. Like I know so many of my partners that would have been so much more successful if they just challenged their own beliefs, and they would have been built a bigger company. And I think it's the same thing for you, where it's like you're not afraid to challenge your beliefs. You're afraid to challenge your ego. Like saying, okay, I'm wrong about this. Let me change it.
Yeah.
And when you
I
think
agree.
about something,
I
just be
100%
like,
agree.
this was inaccurate. I was wrong. I need to fix this, you know, and letting other
Yeah.
people help you come to that conclusion, for sure. For me myself, I'm curious what you think, but I think the biggest thing that has stopped me over the last year from growing, if I need to think about like what's stopping me as a person, what's my biggest weakness that has affected my business. I'll start off by answering on the business side. I think it's that I haven't been doing the right stuff. I've been doing what I want to do. And basically what I mean by that is like I'm very good at doing deep work. I'm very good at like strategizing and strategically working on a new initiative or a new project or taking decisions that pull us forward. And that's what most people are lacking, but I feel like that's not what I've been lacking. What I have been lacking over the last year with the business is just doing all the basic consistent stuff, the boring stuff, kind of like I said a minute ago, about just doing all the basics. Like when we were stuck for like 3 months and couldn't get past 100K a month, I should just have been like working with the sales team every day, buying a coaching program for my sales team on how to get better at sales. But I was like, no, we got to figure out how to get a better back end. We got to figure out how we can maybe hire another salesperson. I was trying to find a creative solution rather than just accepting that I'm just avoiding doing daily boring sales training. So I think it's kind of two answers in one, but I would say the biggest thing for me that's holding me back is avoiding the work that I feel like I'm not the best at and doing the kind of work that I like to do. You know? And the second thing is probably changing stuff too much and not letting things like play out, which is patience. So I would say
I
patience
agree.
and doing the boring work. What do you think about me?
Yeah, I 100% agree. That was if I had to pinpoint one thing, it is definitely that. Do you remember when we were in Cyprus and you had a call with your team, and then after that call, you sent me a screenshot of like, I think I have it here. Set and sell appointments to small clients leads with a strong sales operations. So like implementing, setting up appointments, like doing a paper appointment for the smaller clients, and just putting energy on things that is not what we should actually be focusing on. Um, yeah, I think that's your biggest weakness, but I also think you're aware of it, and I think it's
Yeah.
also gonna serve you when you have a little bit of a bigger team, because when you have like a COO, like a real operations person, you're gonna just take all of your ideas, give it to that person to implement, and they're gonna be like, no, Edvin, we're not doing that. And I think it's gonna serve you a little bit when you are at a really high level. Like when we're talking hundreds of millions, I think it's your creative side. You're gonna be able to let it more like just breathe a little bit. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I feel like that's a good answer. And I had one more question for you, which is the curious one.
Go for it.
I feel like I already have this. I have it naturally, kind of like we talked about before. But for someone watching this, or for yeah, just what you have to say about this. How does someone get obsessed with working and improving and business? How can you go from just wanting to make money to being obsessed with every single small detail and being obsessed with actually building a business?
That's a really good question. I think there's a cheat code to it that I help you find. If I can take the like, if I can say myself, I think a big cheat code to it is just watching Elon Musk content. Like, if you watch Elon Musk content, it's impossible not to get obsessed because you adopt his belief. What do you
I
think about that one?
I agree. I so agree. It's like everyone knows this, but you just have to spend time with people that are obsessed and people that do the same thing. And when you get to a point where every single thing you speak about is business, is people that are doing business, is how someone sold this company, how someone fixed this problem, how your team member did this, how you are facing this problem, you just get into a loop where that's your world. And I think that's how you get obsessed. I'm really easy, or I have it really easy of getting obsessed. It's like the example that we talked about earlier. When we start doing something, every single realm in my life will be around that. When I'm eating, I'm watching a video about the thing. And when I'm sleeping, before I'm sleeping, I'm like seeing myself doing the thing, whether that's working, whether that's hitting a goal, or like we talked about before with these silly things like playing Clash Royale. Like I would literally try to be the best at Clash Royale, like watching strategies, watching the best decks, like
We're so similar
but
there.
yeah, it's just
some people just have it, but also just every single thing that you do has to be around that thing. Um, and yeah, the feeling of being obsessed is amazing. When you get to a point where the only thing you want to do is this one thing, and it's the only thing you care about, you will see so much success. So yeah, that was a good answer. Good answer.
I have
Do we
one more
wanna
answer on that
cover?
one. I think
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, I think that's a basically cheat code is like watch Elon Musk content. But I think the more like deeper answer is like the only way to get obsessed over something is for that to be your favorite thing. Like we
Yeah.
wouldn't be obsessed over Clash Royale if we had something more fun next to us. And we always end up reverting back to what's easiest for us and what's most enjoyable. And that's why we always, or why we talked about earlier on this podcast, like removing all fun stuff in your life so that business can be the only thing you can obsess over, right? Like if you have TikTok on your phone and you have your a spreadsheet that you need to build out, you're gonna go to TikTok. So if you want to become obsessed with work, remove everything that's not work, and then find out a way to genuinely love work. Like I'm not a huge fan of telling people to like switch what business they're in or anything like that, because in the beginning everything's gonna suck. But find ways to enjoy your work, whether that's like me and Jim. We enjoy work because we work together, and every morning we meet at 7 a.m. and we work on the biggest problem in the business, the worst problem, the most boring problem, but together, and that makes us want to enjoy it, right? The fact that we travel with other people and we can talk about it, that makes us enjoy it. These calls make us
And
enjoy
yeah,
business.
and if you feel like you don't enjoy your business, I would say find a way so you can do what you love with your business. Meaning, if you have goals that you want to achieve, just associate the work with getting those goals. So if you want to, let's say you want to move your family out of a bad neighborhood and buy them a house, you will be obsessed with the work if you can just associate those two things. If you know that the more you work and if you produce the results, then you will be able to get the outcome, then you can produce that same thing, right? If you can't just, yeah, if you can't be obsessed with the actual work, just be obsessed with the outcomes, and then those two things will, yeah, naturally. It's like knowing your why. That's also a big thing. Like, why do you
Yeah.
work? That's so good. And Edvin, I know that you have a big why. I also have a big why. I don't think we should go into that now because then we're gonna be here for another 24 hours. Or do you want to? You want to go into it?
No, let's talk about that another time.
Let's do
We'll
it
make a whole
next
video
time.
about that.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think we should. I think we should actually. That would be pretty fun to watch back on.
For sure, that would be so fun. Should we? I haven't opened the comments a single time, but I've seen them pop up. Should we read some of them before we hop on?
Let's go. Let's go through some questions.
Owen said, "Yo,
Owen was
what's up,
good.
Owen? If you guys haven't seen Owen, we made a video with him a few weeks ago. You guys should definitely check that one out. That's my most viewed
Sick
video
dude.
of all these pods. That one was sick. And if you watch that one, you're gonna see Owen making himself look pretty before he joins the call. It's so funny.
You didn't cut out the part when he's
Yeah.
in the OBS. That was so funny.
But
Owen's a great
his
dude.
question though was,
Love Owen.
what are you guys using for ad tracking for Meta? We have custom UTM parameters built out, but that's very complicated. If you have the budget but don't have the time, then just use Hyros. But if you want to learn it, or you have a tech person, then just use custom UTM parameters, and you can watch YouTube videos about that or ask ChatGPT. And then
100%.
for sure, do you have anything to add there?
No, that's pretty much it. I mean, we have pretty like sheets, put all of the Facebook data, put all of the data that we want to track, compare them against each other, and then we can see what ads bring in, what leads, what ads has was this CAC,
For sure.
etc.
And I will say,
Yeah.
one important caveat on that, spreadsheet will be wrong more often than it's right, and it's gonna take a lot of time for you to actually make that. Oh, it's funny. It's gonna take a
Owen's
lot
dying.
of time for you to actually get that spreadsheet to be accurate. And unless you have a
Yeah.
tech person, I would actually recommend just investing in like Hyros, because the number one thing with data is that it's usually not accurate. And if it is accurate, you're gonna end up getting the value out of it. And if it's
Yeah.
not accurate, even if it's inaccurate by 10%, you're not gonna trust it, and then it's gonna be completely useless. So I would
Yeah.
think it's worth it to spend extra money on just making sure it's accurate, like using Hyros that is already almost guaranteed to be accurate because it's built for that one thing. So
Yeah.
most of the time, for most
100%.
people, I'd just say use Hyros rather than try to build it out on your own, unless you have a specific reason for it.
100%. Slava Potsman is saying, "Nice cam, Jim. I appreciate you." What are we thinking of the background? I think it looks okay.
I think it looks sick. Jim
Ethan.
smashed his.
Yeah?
Jim smashed his monitor when, like, I bought a 49-inch monitor. Jim smashed a monitor.
My
It was
monitor
so
right
funny.
now, I've ordered a new one, but my monitor right now is broken, so I'm using my
It
MacBook,
was
which
so
sucks.
funny.
But I have a new one
Y-
arriving tomorrow.
for sure. You know what we'll do? We'll link the video of Jim smashing, or like trying to use his monitor. By the end of this call, it's so funny.
Yeah.
But then we also had somebody say, I
Ethan is
have a
saying, no
question
way
for
I
you.
caught the live stream this week. Let's go. I appreciate you watching, man. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Answer Ahmad's
Ahmad.
question to you, bro.
Yeah, let's see. I have a question for Jim. What do you think of the future of agencies? Great question. Meta wants to replace agencies. They basically want to make it so anyone that runs a business can just go into Meta and just write in a chatbot, or explain what they're trying to do, and then the algorithm or the AI will create the ads, run the ads, do the targeting, optimize, set the budget, and all that stuff. I still think there will be a future for agencies because it will just adapt to what the market is doing, and so maybe it will adapt. We will we will get to a point that I can't concentrate when Owen is. I have a video of me throwing a monitor of a balcony in Barca. Yeah, send that to us, and maybe we'll link that in the end of this video as well. No, but to answer Ahmad, to answer your question, there's always going to be a future, but instead of trying to invest in building your agency, really try to invest in yourself, of learning all of the skills of running a business. And if AGI comes in or agencies get replaced, you still have the skills to be able to run a business, and you can take that into another vertical. Edwin, any other thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think there's gonna be a day where agencies will no longer be able to be ran in like 3 to 5 years because of AI. But that's gonna be the case with everything. That's gonna be the same thing with accounting, with software, with everything. And I think agencies will actually be relatively slow to be replaced because most people that you end up working with, especially if they're small businesses, they're not gonna be the first to implement AI. So I actually think let's close down this fucking chat while we talk.
Someone saying y'all have some fetishes for monitors. Bro.
That's funny.
Yeah, Edwin with his large one, we're ordering one.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, he's right.
So on that, I think everything's gonna be replaced by AI one day, but I wouldn't stress over it because if it was gonna be replaced tomorrow, me and Jim wouldn't work on it. And the fact that we're still spending all of our time building an agency is proof that I believe it's gonna be there in a year from now. And I think maybe there will be the technology to replace it in 2 years from now, 3 years from now. But that doesn't mean everybody's gonna implement the technology. Like there's people who still haven't used the first iPhone, and iPhones came out 26 years ago. So I think agencies will still be there for a few more years, and you can capitalize while they're here. Plus, the formats just change. You might not be able to do Facebook. You might need to switch to Google. Or you might switch to being a creative agency or actually make content or whatever it is. But the format change, but the skill set won't. So like Jim said, invest in building
Yeah.
the skill set.
And it might be like SEO in ChatGPT. Like, how do you appear in search results when someone asks ChatGPT who is the best local contractor? Like, it will change. Just make sure to get the skills.
For sure.
And then we have a question for you, Edwin. Ethan got a question for you.
I have a question for Edwin. I'm 16 years old, building a 100. This reminds me of me a few years ago. I'm 16 years old, building a 100K a month business. This month we've signed 3 clients, and we're going to do at least 20K in March. What are your thoughts on staying in school? Let's fucking go, Ethan. Congrats. I remember this guy DM'd me a few months ago. I'm glad that you're succeeding, Ethan. Really proud of you. So
Drop out.
I, th- I think school has no value 2026 except for the social aspect. If that is the only way you can build a social aspect, like if you are really close with your friends and you go to a sport or whatever, then you have no reason to stay in school. If you're more of a loner, I think it's good to be in school though for that aspect, but you can usually replace that with other things. Other from that, the learning that you get in school is zero. Like I literally learned more from 1 week of dropping out in business than I did in the first 5 years of going to school. And school is just such a waste of time. I actually think it makes you not just learn nothing, but I actually think it makes you think smaller because they teach you to want to be a employee. So I think
Yeah.
if you
I think it
actually
depends
know
on.
that,
I have a little bit of a different answer on that one, Edwin. I'll let you continue.
I just
but then
finish?
Yeah.
I
No, you
think
can't.
if you have if you are 100% sure that you're gonna succeed with what you're doing, so like you have no doubt in your mind, you've already made 20K and so on, and you have some real profit, and you have no doubt, then 100% drop out. Now, if you're trying to be doctor or you're trying to be a lawyer, lawyers won't take 63 years. But if you're trying to be something like a doctor, then definitely go to school because that's the best way to get a education for that. But if you have 100% certainty that you can make money offline or online, sorry, then drop out. Now, one
if you can
important
make
part,
money offline, whew,
one important part that most people forget is a lot of people drop out and then they're like, let me find my plan. Then you're fucking yourself up. Keep in mind that 10% of people that start an online business actually succeed. 90%, maybe 99% of people fail. So first make sure you have the proof, like Ethan, you said you made 20K a month. If you do that, then you can drop out. But get that proof first, because otherwise you just fuck up your future and you can't
yeah,
get a good job. Jim,
yeah.
go ahead with your answer though.
I 100% agree. I think if you know what you want to do, and you're 100% certain that you will achieve it, there's no reason to stay in school. If you don't know what to do and you don't know what to focus on and you don't have a direction, then I feel like you should stay in school. What are you laughing at, David? Are you reading the? Now that I'm in the game,
Yes.
there's no way I'm getting out. Yeah,
It's
yeah. I
funny
mean,
to
just
know.
drop out. If you want to, if you know what you need, if you know what you want to do, then I would 100% recommend to drop out. I mean, I dropped out. Edwin dropped out. The twins that we stayed with, when all of us basically, we were a group of people sleeping in an office and we just all dropped out. So yeah, if you know what you want to do, drop out. If you're directionless, you don't know what business to start, you don't have a business, stay in school. 100% stay
Yeah.
in school.
Dropping out was
Nice.
probably after starting my business and finding my girlfriend, it was the best decision I've made in my entire life. Like that's the one thing that probably changed my direction in life more than anything else. How would you approach cold calling in 2026? Jim, you can start on that one.
I think the only thing that's gonna matter is just the volume, to be honest. I don't know if cold calling is gonna be the best way to get clients. It depends on your niche, it depends on what you're doing.
Sorry,
If
my
cold
bad. He
Yeah.
said in construction. In the
Oh, in
construction niche.
construction. Oh, in the
Yeah.
construction niche. Opener, pitch, etc. I think the first thing is gonna be get a really good lead list. Make sure that you're calling people and you're actually getting pickups from people that you can pitch, because otherwise you're just gonna be speaking with gatekeepers all day, wasting your time. I would say get a good list, and then it's just about volume. Um, my opinion on cold calling, I mean, I think cold calling is great. I built my business in the beginning using cold calling. But on the other side, I think there's better ways. Like, I think email is better. I think LinkedIn is better. I think SMS, like blasting out SMS, and then as soon as someone answers, you call them. I think that is good as well. If you're starting out, I would just be, yeah, brutally honest, confident on the phone, not sounding salesy. These openers with, hey, this is a cold call. I don't like that. I don't
Shit.
think it's, yeah, I think it's shit. Sure, it probably works for some people, but yeah, I think just being curious and just, yeah, calling a lot.
I'll
That
give
was a bad
my
answer from me, but yeah, Edwin, give your take.
Yeah, you said you think there's better ways to go about it. I'll actually disagree somewhat there. I think if you're in the construction industry, I think construction people that are like, unless you're working with big companies, which you're not in the beginning. In the beginning, you can't sign the big ones. So I would recommend starting with the small ones and then working your way up. And the small ones, they don't read their email, in my experience. They do read some SMS. So you can definitely do SMS, but that doesn't take too much time either. They don't read LinkedIn and all that stuff. So I think ads is gonna be the number one thing. But before you have the money for ads, then I think cold calling is a great thing to do. It also, more than anything else, it builds your discipline, your willpower, your grit, and your willingness to approach uncomfortable situations more than anything else. Like most people that have done cold calling for a long period of time or like door knocking and those kind of things have such discipline. Those are the people that I respect the most in life. I did cold calling 200 cold calls a day for 6 months straight without missing more than like 2 days, right?
I
And
learned
Jim,
English through cold calling.
yeah, I was just gonna say Jim did cold
I learned the
calling
language.
after school for years,
Yeah.
and I think that's the reason that we are here where we are now. Because when you compare like, oh fuck, I gotta build this really complicated automation. Yeah, I'd rather do that than fucking cold calling. So it builds your discipline like nothing else, and that's why I think it's a great thing to do, even though it takes fucking time. Another answer
Yeah.
too is just like Jim said, it's all about volume. people end up calling like 20 minutes a day or 20 calls a day, and they think it's not working. I did 200 cold calls a day for 6 months straight, and I still think I did too little. When we had a cold calling team, the KPI was 500 calls a day. I had 10 people doing 500 calls a day, and that's how I hit 120K a month. Like, you need to do insane amounts of dials to actually get somewhere. But what else are you gonna do with your time? Are you gonna sit on your fucking couch all day and watch TV? No. So just fucking do it, and it builds you like nothing else. In terms of scripts and stuff, I think just be transparent with why you're calling, but don't sound like those people that are like, this is a cold call, because then you're gonna sound like everybody else. Be like, hey, yo, do you need some more leads? Perfect, yeah. We're helping this company get more leads, whatever. And then just don't overcomplicate it. Don't overly change the script every call and try to optimize it. Just fucking do the calls, see what resonates with the market, and then do more dials.
100%. Owen is saying I did door to door for 6 months. Door to
That
door
explains
is
why he's
also,
successful.
yeah, so good. It just builds you like nothing else. I feel like that's everything. If you guys have any more questions, drop them now. We're gonna answer them. Otherwise, I think that's it for this.
Jim,
For this video.
can you add
Yeah.
anybody to this, or is it too late?
I might be able to add. Who wants to?
Let's fucking
Who wants to join?
add Owen and let him spit some sauce for 5 minutes before we end.
Owen, let's join this shit. And then Owen
Ethan,
shared a
you
video of
asked
him dropping
how
a-
much proof you need before making that decision. I would say it's all a personal decision. Like, Jim had made almost no money when he dropped out, but he ended up succeeding. I was already at 20K a month when I dropped out, so it's different for everybody. But I would say it's more about the confidence of, like, do you know you're gonna make it without the doubt in your mind? Then drop out.
I just received a video of Owen dropping a monitor from a balcony.
We're gonna link that in the video. That's fucking
Okay.
hilarious, bro.
Slava Postman is saying, I appreciate you all. I appreciate you. Hope you got some value from this. Go out there and crush it. Ethan is saying, one big tip on client retention. 3 reasons why people churn. First of all, results. Second thing, expectations. Third thing, avatar. If people
This is
churn,
some
it's
sauce,
any of
Jim.
these 3. This is sauce right here. This is actually high-level sauce. I'm not even kidding. It's one of these 3 reasons. Either you have bad results, you're setting the wrong expectations, or you're working with the wrong people. It's actually not in that order. The first one is the avatar. That's the first reason. Break down if you're working with the wrong kind of person, because sometimes you have good expectation setting and you have good results, but the person that you're working with doesn't know how to run a business and doesn't know how to fulfill. And yeah, those people you can't even help in the first place. Second thing, expectations. Set realistic expectations. Set expectations that it won't be an easy road. They will fail. They will have this happen. Basically, picture the worst case scenario, but if they go through the worst case scenario, they're going to get to their goal. Third thing is results. Just make sure that your results are good. If you have all of those 3 things and you can fulfill on what you promise, your churn will be good. And if it's not, it's one of these 3 things.
That's some fire sauce, Jim. Thank you for teaching me that.
Of course. I don't know if Owen is joining. Do we want to? Oh, yeah.
There he is. Look at that guy. Wait, Jim, let's leave for 5 minutes so Owen can just fix your setup
Owen.
before we start the call.
Give me a second.
Owen.
I got like so much shit going on here. I'm so overstimulated.
So funny, bro.
Owen, take 2 minutes. We're just going to be in the background. Spit your
Okay.
sauce. Let's go.
Okay. Give me a sec.
Now everybody's gonna fucking click off this video. That's so funny. On the client retention thing that Ethan asked about, I think Jim said the same answers I could have. And the biggest thing I'd add to what you just said is, I love this quote, which is every problem in business can be solved by talking to your customers. Oh, but it's so confused. Every business problem can be solved by talking to your customers. If your clients are leaving, ask them why they're leaving. And that sounds obvious, but most people don't. Most people are like, this client churn, but they never speak to the client. So just talk to your customers, ask what they want, ask what you can do better, get feedback. And if you have less than 10 clients and you're still early on, fucking bend your back over each client. Like, make sure you do the work to get them to be happy, even if it's, quote, not scalable. If they want you to also take care of their social media, do it just to make them happy if you're not at scale. Then when you're above 10 clients, you're not gonna have the time to, and then you gotta operationalize. But until you're at that point, then just fucking do the work.
100%.
Owen, are you with us?
Yes, I'm good now.
What you
I'm in.
got?
What the hell is this platform?
This is
This is
Riverside.
Riverside,
This is what
dude.
all the
Riverside's
professional
awesome.
people use, bro.
I thought you guys were originally on like a Google Meet call.
No, we're better than that nowadays. Come on, we're podcasters.
Damn.
What sauce you got for us, bro? before
Nothing
we hop
much.
off.
Wait, did you guys show the video of the monitor?
We're going to play that before we hop off the call.
Oh my
We're gonna
gosh.
link that. We can link it. We can have we can edit it in the as the outro.
Yeah, the funny story about that is like I mistakenly brought a monitor in a suitcase and a carry-on, or not even a carry-on, a checked bag.
That was
And-
the exact thing I did.
Yeah, I didn't put
Yeah.
any bubble wrap. I just wrapped it around with clothes. And I landed and it was completely shattered. And so I was just like, fuck it, let's just throw it off the balcony and see what happens. And it was a boom, like it exploded. Oh my god.
Yeah, let's put that in the end. What sauce? What learning lessons do you have for this week, Owen?
Oh boy. I think for me, it's been a lot of focus on what can I do to increase my volume and kind of get systems in place to make it easier to do so. And a lot of that's been from looking for people, to delegate a little bit more. I haven't really been doing a good job of that. So kind of building out systems in place. I hired 2 people this last week.
Let's
A
go.
content manager to handle my ideation packaging, most of my like socials on like a broad term, and then also got a short form guy starting. It's a little bit annoying because you want to like, you get these people in place and you want to just like immediately increase volume as soon as possible. But for some of this, I need to like, train them up. I need to get it to a point where I'm happy with the output that they're going to be able to put out and get into a bit of a system. So it's simpler for me where all I have to do on a day-to-day basis is just record for hours and then that's it. You know what I mean? So setting all
Was it the
that
guy
up.
that we talked about? Was it that guy that you sent me? Did you hire him?
I did get him on. Yeah, I got
Let's
him
go,
on.
man.
Let's
You're gonna blow
go.
up. You're gonna be at a million followers soon.
Dude,
That is sick.
he's a killer for sure. Like he's super super good. He's got a little bit of a network of also other guys that are pretty hungry, and so far his output's
is
been really
awesome.
great. So
Great, man. Awesome.
Yeah.
Let me challenge you on that you just said. Why couldn't you just? I feel like if you want them to perform well, isn't the best way to get them to perform well just give them so much fucking volume of content to train on, so that it's unreasonable for them not to get fucking good in one day? Because like if I was to be your video editor, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you'd probably be able to make me good if you just gave me 24 hours. Because I'm a smart guy who's hardworking, right? So why don't
Yeah.
you just approach it like that? What would it take if you needed to make them fucking killer in 24 hours, and then just put in that work through like record for 8 hours today, and then tomorrow just be like, yo, I got 8 hours of content. You want to sit on a Zoom call together live, and you can just edit in front of me for 8 hours straight until all of this content is 100% approved, and then you'll be able to have them fully good, ramped up, good to go. Plus you have 8 hours of content in like one day. What
because
would
a
stop you
lot
from
of
that?
yeah, the reason why nothing is stopping me from doing that in the coming like weeks and or I guess days, even my short form editor just hasn't even started yet because
Okay.
he's got other clients. The hard part about this is that like getting one, they're not just editors typically. Like this guy's like handling packaging, ideation, and volume without intention is nothing for coaching specifically when you're building a big brand, because when you have a streamer like I don't even know, like some famous streamer that's got clipping and he's got like 100 accounts full of clippers and hours of volume that are getting sent out every day, it's like that doesn't work for this because you currently have like an existing audience, and that'll work at a longer scale. But when you're like directly building a
That's a
social
limiting
media
belief.
account, whether it's Instagram or YouTube, just for intentionality on getting someone to like convert, which usually takes some time throughout that process, it's important that you like put all of those posts intentionally on one account, build out all of it in a meaningful way. And so it's the reason why Hormozy doesn't post a video a day. He posts a video every 3 to 4 days on his main account because he has a brand there associated. But he does have a second account to push out
I
videos every
Can I
second.
Yeah,
challenge you?
bro. Edwin is gonna. I knew Edwin was gonna be like, no, let me challenge you on this. Why can't you
Can
do
I?
both?
Because I think that right now it's just a matter of getting into a post like a consistent flow of posting content instead of going from 0 to 100. Because like I've been posting a little bit consistently on YouTube, but not enough, and I haven't even been posting short form. So it's like I'm not worried about scaling this right now and like getting 100 posts a day in short form. I'm just trying to get posts out for now, and as soon as
Can
that
I?
happens, then we can start increasing the volume. And also, I don't have a winning format yet, so that as well.
Can I challenge you on this?
Oh boy.
Can I?
Yes. Yeah, of course.
Thank you. If you want us to stop live streaming this, just let me know because I hate to make fun of you online or like challenge you online in front of people.
Alright.
But basically, I think the reason Alex Ramosi has talked about this openly himself, he says there's no, based on what we spoke about before with Elon Musk, first principles thinking and thinking in the laws of physics, there's no reason that you can't get 100 posts out on your main account every day, long form pieces. The algorithm doesn't have anything against that. The only reason Alex doesn't and so on is because he doesn't have the time. And he knows that if he was to do that, his quality would drop. So like you can post 10 long form videos a day if the quality was there. And that would definitely 100% be the way to grow the fastest. The problem is just that obviously we don't have the quality of scripting and we don't have the time and so on, right? So the question is just how much time do you have available, Owen? And if it's 7 hours a day, then take those 7 hours and just think about, okay, how much does one video take to make? Maybe it's 30 minutes of scripting, then 1 hour of recording, and then 1 hour of editing. I don't know. Let's just take that as an example. Then that means each video would be 2.5 hours. Then, okay, based on that math, I can do 3 videos a day. Then get 3 long form a day. Per day, every single day done, and then be in a Zoom call with him every day live. Do it with him until he's good enough to do it on his own. And how I go about this is first, you do it in front of him. Then you do it with him. So like first you teach him, then he does it in front of you, and then he does it without you, right? So that's kind of like the transition until he's good enough and you don't have to worry about it. But I don't think there's a cap of how much volume you can do. It's only a cap of how much volume you can do while keeping the quality high. And as long as your quality is there, why not just get 10 videos a day?
A lot of the issues with this is that I don't think you guys don't really have like the understanding of like what it actually takes to plan out one of these videos, especially
does
one
it
that's
take?
high converting. You can't just flip on the camera and just record slop. It just doesn't work.
Not like us. How
I
long does
know.
it take to make a video?
Well, according for me, it's usually around 2 hours of like planning and scripting and figuring out packaging and ideation and stuff, which is why I'm putting him in place to like
Yeah.
take control of that for now and get more people in place as well.
2 hours
But,
prep.
For
and then-
example, Hermosi says it takes around 3 to 4 hours to plan out a video.
yeah.
So,
So 2 hours
yeah.
to prep. How long does it take to record?
roughly an hour as well.
And how long to edit?
Well, based on the editors that I currently have, it takes usually like around 2 days to get it back in the quality that I'm going for.
What do you think Elon would tell you to do with them?
Figure out a way to make that shorter by either getting more of them or making them better.
Yeah. Who's editing your videos?
Right now, it's the guy that I just got on board. And
How many hours of actual editing do you think it takes? Not like how many days do you need to wait, but like how many hours do you think editing a video takes?
Actually, I would say a decent amount with like the style that he's kind of going with. Like
How many hours is that? 1 hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours?
I would say around 5 realistically.
So, do you have anybody who's good enough at doing that where you don't need to like watch over their shoulder, or are they not good enough where you need to train them on it?
So the thing is they're better. Like I'm not good at it. They're good at it. So it's like
Okay, I see. Yeah,
yeah.
that makes sense. But
Yeah.
then here's what I'd say: it takes. You said how many hours to prep? 2.
I would say roughly 2. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think that's
2
good.
plus 1 to record. Let's say 3 hours. So each video can be done in 3 hours, and then it takes 5 to edit. So that means editing is really the constraint. Do you think
Yes.
you can get him to be faster in the future?
I can get him to be faster, but I think largely that'll come from getting more people under his belt as well.
Then yeah, we need to solve for that. So first, let's get somebody under him that can help him out, so that we can get that to go from taking 5 hours to like being able to create a video in 2 hours, and then or say 3 hours. Because if you can have a video done on your like content guys side every 3 hours, and then you can have somebody edit it in 3 hours, that means every 3 hours you can have a video produced. And then how many hours do you think you can dedicate to content per day?
Oh, you know the answer to that.
All day?
All day.
Good. So let's say
Let's
9 hours
go.
a day minimum. Because let's say you have a few hours for other stuff, and let's say 9 hours of focus stuff. That means you should be able to do 3 long form pieces per day.
In the eyes of a viewer though, that subscribe to the channel. I know I'm just going for reach, but like that is so much content to consume. There's got to be a reason why nobody in the space is doing that.
Yeah, there is.
I think there's people doing that.
I've never seen someone that's doing
The
volume
reason
like
people
that.
don't do that is because they don't have the time.
Are you sure it's a matter of time, not a matter of how YouTube pushes out videos?
There are accounts that post like that. Look at T-Series. Do you know how often T-Series posts? Look it up. Last time I looked it up, which was like 2 years ago, they posted like once every 5 minutes. It might have changed now though. T-Series is the second biggest account on the earth.
What is
And-
that?
Yeah, they,
That
they
is
posted
a-
like 3 hours.
Yeah, T-Series is like 310 million subscribers. Before MrBeast, they were the most followed channel. They just post like funny Indian stuff. So 6 hours ago, 8 hours ago, 11 hours ago, 1 day ago, 1 day ago.
Holy,
Just
yeah,
yesterday?
they post like 3 a day.
Yesterday
4 a
they
day.
post 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 videos yesterday alone. The reason they haven't posted for 6 hours is because they are asleep right now, Indian time. So
Bro, these Indians
It's-
are hard working.
it's not it's 9 hours a day of content, so you can do the content. But the thing is, they have a team of like 100 people to do it, right? The reason Alex can't is because he needs to run his portfolio company and do coaching and these kind of things per day, right?
And you also have to take into account short form as well, because he gets like, I think Alex posts like, what is it, somewhere between 200 and 400 pieces of content per week,
Exactly.
and only
Yeah.
2 or 3 of those are actually YouTube videos, and the rest of them is just short form pumping out.
And then if we look at like what's his name, Speed, I Show Speed, you know, he's literally producing content 9 hours a day because he's just live streaming all day, right? So then other people take that and they cut it up and stuff. Like he's literally live. He had a stream for, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think he did a month live of just like, he didn't stop for a whole month. He did a tour all over Asia.
Yeah.
So obviously that's not high quality content like yours, but he spent all of his days producing content, and people were obviously not watching 9 hours a day, but he got more people throughout that, and he got more than he would have if he only made one video a day for an hour, right? So that's why I'm saying, like, of course you're gonna exhaust your audience. They're not gonna want to see all 3 videos a day if they're an hour each, but they're going to maybe watch one, and that's better than them watching 1 out of 3 when you post 3 a week, because then you watch 1 a week, right? So
Yeah.
and you just reach new people, because only 10% of your audience watch each video anyways.
Most of my videos
It's like hitting a
are-
new pocket on Facebook ads.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of my videos are bottom of funnel intentionally because I have a smaller channel. So it would just be like kind of figuring out how to like I would be doing a lot more top of funnel stuff throughout the week, because that's just what stuff that'll get pushed to like a bigger audience and not just go with who I already have in there, you know what I mean?
I also think the short form will be great at top of funnel. So you can just
Yeah.
convert people in the short form and then just go down. Boys, I have a meeting that I'm gonna have to run to pretty soon. Great to see you in here, Owen. And
Yeah, I
glad to
appreciate
see
it.
that you're
It's kind of
crushing the
spontaneous. I was
course.
just I'm sitting here fucking eating food, just chilling.
We've got Owen in here. Let's go.
Yeah, we
Sick.
appreciate you,
Awesome.
man.
Someone in the chat as well is saying, "What's up, boys?" FX Har, I can't pronounce that. Xron, saying, "What's up?"
And
Oh,
Owen, by the
real
way,
quick.
brother, sorry for
Yeah.
calling you out and challenging you. You know we do, because we love you just like I would do on gym.
Of course, of course. What are you guys' real quick? What are your guys' thoughts on all the people that are in Dubai right now?
Man, I'm
Ooh.
praying for them.
Yeah. Hopefully,
Cameron was
I
thinking
mean,
You
in
know
the
what's
bathroom.
crazy, Owen? Me and Jim
Yeah.
were gonna go to Dubai with a friend of ours called Miller, but then we couldn't last minute, and we would have been in Dubai right now otherwise. So that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. What are your
blessed that
thoughts?
we didn't
Like
go there.
that Airbnb you sent me in Malaga, that thing is giant.
That's actually Marbella.
so
It says
good.
Malaga, but it's actually Marbella. It's right next to Risla Parol, Porta Banús, all that good stuff in Marbella. We were gonna go, yeah, and it would have been like $1,500 per person.
No
But-
way.
So
No,
cheap.
not unless
With
you're
an
like
own
30
tennis
people,
court
bro.
and everything.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
a tennis court, with a jacuzzi, with a full bath, like what's it called, a forever waterfall, whatever it's called, like insane place.
How would that
Everybody-
be for a person? I think I put in the price for 30 days. It was like 30K.
No, it's like it was
What?
cheaper the sooner you went. So like if you went soon, then it was cheap. If you
I
went
see.
in the summer, it was expensive. Anyways, Everybody's clicking off right now. Guys, I appreciate you watching. Great call. Jim, thank you for hopping on with me. Oh, and thank you for hopping in last minute, bro. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. We'll talk soon.
Sick boys.